Hi, my angels. I'm glad that you're here. I haven't done a whispering video in a while, so I thought this was just the right time to do it. And if you're new, thank you so much for giving me a chance. I really appreciate it. Please feel free to like and comment and definitely subscribe. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. You guys know how much you mean to me. And if you're a returning viewer who hasn't subscribed, I get it. I used to be the same. I'd watch people over and over and over, but I never subscribed because I thought, why bother? But it really does help the channel to grow. So please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, if you've already subscribed, and not just to me, to anyone, make sure you're still subscribed. Apparently, whenever your phone updates, it can wipe out some of your subscriptions. So that's just a tip. So for today's video, I thought I wanted to do a whisper video. I know that, and I'm going to keep trying to whisper. I forget, I get excited. But I didn't know what topic. And then I was staring at one of my collections, and someone had asked me to do some collections. So this one is my Hustleton collection. Hustleton is an artist here in Ontario, and I'm sorry, I can't remember his first name, but he works, I believe it's in aluminum, and I love them. They're beautiful. They feel so good to the touch. They're amazing toppers. But I wanted to show you the collection we had. It means a lot to me, actually. And as I go through each piece, I think you'll figure out why. So this is the first piece that we ever got. And this was given to us by a very good friend at the time, because let's face it, friends come in, friends come out, they don't always stay. But at the time, she was a very good friend. And she invited us to her daughter's first communion, and each family was given a Hustleton. Now this to me looks like a seal, and it's quite lovely. It's so smooth. It feels so good to touch. And my father really ended up liking it, and he found out the artist studio and shop was not far from where my oldest brother lived, and we would go there quite frequently to visit my nephews. So we would stop in, and that's how my parents started their collection. And my dad wanted the loons and the geese, and we would fight constantly whether it was a loon or a goose. So I will let you guys make up your own minds. Now here's one. I'm fairly certain that this is a Canadian goose. All right, we only have 2 of the gold pieces, as you can see. But what I love about this one is that we keep all of them on top of a wall unit that used to be my parents'. And my husband put it like this. He goes, I know that's not how it goes. And I said, no, that's okay, because I didn't tell him. It reminds me of the Jesus statue in Rio de Janeiro. And I just love it. It just reminds me of that over the whole, oh, I just love that. Anyways, and then my dad picked this one up. And this is definitely a Canadian goose or loon. I don't think we ever did decide which one it was, but you can pick your own. But the tapping is amazing. And I wish you could feel how smooth this is and how cool to the touch this is. So yeah, my dad had this huge collection of loons and Canadian goose statues. And then the last one that he and my mom collected was a very large one. And oh, this one, I love, it's almost musical. I said almost. But this one he was so proud of. And the neck is just so, like, the artistry in this. I may not fully like a certain thing, but I can appreciate the time, the effort, the artistic quality that goes into them. And like I said, if you could feel how smooth and cool, it just feels lovely to the touch. So when we received these, my husband really got into it and he started really liking them. So we went to the studio, my daughter came too, and we've gone several times. Now it's closed, but we did go several times. And I'll show you the ones that we picked out for ourselves. I'll show you the ones my daughter picked. She liked the smaller ones, the mini ones. And here we have just a mini little cat. We didn't have a dog at the time, but we had lost our two older cats who were 15 and 17. So she got this one, the little cats. And I don't think the camera's really picking up how lovely these really are. And yeah, you have to kind of use your imagination, but you can see what they are. You really can. And she picked the starfish, or just a star, but I call it the starfish. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And the last one that she picked, when my dad passed, on the anniversary, the first anniversary, my mom was at her trailer, that used to be their trailer, and with her friends. And my younger brother, myself, and my husband decided to surprise her and go up and spend the night. There was a detour. There was a bridge that was suddenly out of commission. We had to go all the way around. We got lost. Anyways, we did manage to get there eventually. And we ended up going down to the beach. And this monarch butterfly followed us to the beach, came back with us from the beach, followed us the whole day at the beach. So now every time I see a monarch butterfly, I think of my dad, because we said it was him sending the butterfly. When my mother passed, my daughter said she sees white butterflies now, and we all do now. So we picked up a butterfly, or my daughter picked the butterfly to remind us of them, which I think is great. And when my father-in-law passed, my husband kept seeing robins everywhere, and so that's his sign. That's the way his father's saying hello. And his mother had an amazing sense of humor, and she would have appreciated what I'm about to tell you very much. He said to me, "What do you think Mom's sign will be?" And I said, "A sale." The woman loved to shop. But we actually see two robins together quite frequently, so we think it's them, just saying hello. So that's what my daughter chose. I have always loved frogs. So for birthday, I was given this frog. And I can't remember if it was my parents or my husband. However, I just say, "Do you love the frog I was given as a gift?" I can't remember. But I do love it. And it has quite a weight. But you can see the muscle without, like, there's such minimal lineage, but you can see it. And the eyes are just like an indent, but I can see them. I hope you guys can. I just think the artistry is incredible. The next one my husband picked is the fox. What does the fox say? Sorry. But we have foxes here. Well, that's not true. One year we have rabbits. The next year we have foxes, but no rabbits. The next year we'll have rabbits, and it goes on like that. This is a rabbit year. I hope they're smart enough to stay away from the foxes. Although we have had quite a bit of problem with coyotes this year. They seem to be much more plentiful, and much more bold. We were walking our dog last year, and the biggest coyote we ever saw was standing in the middle of the sidewalk on a busy street. Now, granted, it was 6:30 in the morning, but it was scary because I don't know if you guys have seen coyotes before. They're big, like really big. I was shocked, and we just backed away slowly, didn't make eye contact, you know, and yeah, and we make sure everyone knows, don't let the little dogs out. We don't even let our dog out in the backyard. If it's even dusky, we just won't do it because it's just a short chain link fence. So, and we have the green belt right behind us, so we see a lot of wild animals, considering the city's just, you know, 2 streets over. But we've seen pheasants, lots of geese, foxes, the coyotes, the rabbits. We don't get a lot of raccoons. This a couple years ago we had one, and this year we've seen a couple, but we're like, and squirrels, oh my gosh, my husband and the squirrels, I could write a book. They're the bane of his existence, okay? He loves to feed the birds. He loves his birds, and he has bird feeders, and he takes special care. And it's not like he wants them to starve. He puts birdseed on the ground for them, but they're always at, and we have bought every bird feeder, squirrel proof thing known to man. And nope, nothing. Now there is one, apparently, I've heard of this, where the squirrel gets on it and it shoots it off. That's mean. We're not using that. No, nope, no. Now, I've always said that my spirit animal is an owl. I love owls. My favorite animal, I've told you guys this before, and people think I'm nuts, I love skunks. I think they're the cutest things I've ever seen in my life. And if you've seen them walking and they waddle away, or the little babies that run after them, oh my God, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I know they stink, but I don't play with them. I don't mess with them. I leave them alone. They leave me alone. I'll never forget, I had to call a taxi, and I had my daughter in her carrier, the one that gets belted in, and I was standing at the top of the steps with her. The cabbie had gotten out to hold the door for us so that I could get her strapped in with me, and the skunk walked between us, and he and I are just staring at each other, and we're all holding our breath, willing my daughter not to squeal, not to cry, nothing. It was fine. The skunk went on its way. We get in the car and we both were like, oh my gosh. But anyway, my spirit animal is an owl, and I do have a little tiny owl collection, but this is my owl from the Hustleton collection. And I just love it. I just think it's so smooth and nice, and it feels good in your hands too. And I wish you could feel how cold it is to the touch. Like even holding it in my hand, it does not heat up. Okay, and then the last one. So this is a hard week for me. Friday is the anniversary of my mom's death, and a week after that is the anniversary of my dad's death. Years apart, 13 years apart, but it's hard. I'm being honest, it's hard. I'm at the point though where I can laugh at memories, and the memories make me feel warm rather than sad all the time. So you will, if anyone is experiencing a loss right now, I promise you, you will get to a point where the memories comfort you rather than hurt. And you'll be able to see signs. I believe in them. I really do. I know some people say dimes. If you find a dime, it's somebody saying hello. Somebody else told me sun rays. are your way of your loved ones saying hello to you. And my daughter takes great comfort going to the cemetery and laying flowers, and she'll talk for hours on end at them if I let her. I get nothing from going to a cemetery. I know that probably makes me, I don't know, not kind, but I don't. I just don't. I talk to them all the time in my heart, and if I'm here alone, I'll talk to them out loud. But no. And that's, I always said that, what's that poem? Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there, I did not die. And I forget the rest of the poem, but it's basically, it lives in your heart. They live in your heart. And I believe that. So this is the one. My daughter picked it out. And before you ask, it is not a salt or pepper shaker. It's a lighthouse. And my mother was from Nova Scotia. And she moved here. I think she moved here when she was 18 with my brother, my oldest brother. And she moved here without knowing anybody, now the rest of her family followed. They all came to Ontario within the year. But yeah, she came here all by herself with my brother as a single mom. She was married at 16, had my brother at 17, and divorced at 18. So lighthouses have always been special to her. They reminded her of Nova Scotia. And I didn't think my mother had an accent at all until somebody told me she did. And I still never heard it until after my dad passed. She took a trip. She wanted to go to Nova Scotia. And she went and saw the rest of her family, the older ones, you know. And she was supposed to be gone 2 weeks. And she came back after a week. I couldn't understand a word the woman said. Like for 2 weeks, I'm like, what? I guess when she got around people, that's when it really came out. So, but this one, yeah, this is the lighthouse. And it always reminds me of her, always. So I'm choosing to feel warmth, remember the laugh, because when we first saw it, I swear to you, I thought it was a salt and pepper shaker. But it's not, it's a lighthouse. And I can see that now, totally. So yeah, so that's my Hustleton collection. And oh, this one is signed. And there's a number on it. Oh, I think it says 2000 and... Nope, that's not what that says. I don't know what that says, but it's definitely signed. Are they all signed? Let's see. The frog is signed. Yep, they're all signed. Yeah, even the little ones are signed. So that's good. So that's how I know they're all Hustletons. So there we go. So guys, I hope I remembered to whisper for most of this video. And I do have a new role play coming up. I know I said I wasn't going to do very many of them, but they're fun. I like doing them. So I'm hoping to film tomorrow, maybe the next day, but I'll have a role play video for you very soon. It's not a provider, not a witch, but yeah, I hope you'll like it, okay? I haven't decided yet what I'm going to call it, but we'll see. So I hope the rest of you, everybody has a great day. I hope you have a great sleep. I will try to do a reading tonight from our Celtic tales. And other than that, I love you, I value you, I honor you, and I'm so very glad that you were born.